welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. Welcome to the B Team Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Safran, with our co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our new permanent guest,
yes.
Corbett. Jim Corbett. I would question the permanence. I'm just here filling in.
No, you're super permanent because your picture's up on the screen.
Yeah, I mean,
picture's on the
your
screen.
Picture's there.
There's no replacing Rob.
It's official.
There's no replacing Rob.
I mean, he's one of one, but you are the new one.
We'll see.
The chosen one.
It's been a good run. We got a year and a half of him.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we had a year and a half of actual podcast, but he's only here for like 30%.
Yeah.
It's like when my wife asks me, how many years have you been married? I go, it's been 3 good years. She goes, we've been married 7. I go, point taken, right?
Listen,
3 good years.
Every good tricycle.
Well, that better be edited.
Yeah. He edits, that's why. You just have to be careful what we say because he doesn't edit our stuff.
Every good tricycle needs a spare tire. I'm happy to be the spare tire. When one of you three is sick, I'm happy to jump in.
It feels like Bobby's the spare tire now. I mean,
I know him and Josh, it's going to be pretty tense if he comes back.
I'm looking forward to getting together this weekend.
Me and Bobby may have to switch.
Put me up there. I'll be right up there.
Yeah.
Well, we're here every Thursday for all things Bentonville business and bourbon, and today it's going to be heavy bourbon focused because we have the OG, the man,
the
myth,
one,
the legend,
only.
Right? It's been a while.
It has been. You know,
Yeah.
it's been this mid-July, right? So it's been a few months since I've been in this chair. It's good to be back. And Jim, good to see you as a stand-in.
I almost feel like I
always great
haven't
seeing
been
you.
on a podcast if I haven't been on a Russ podcast. I got to be honest.
Well, I
That's true.
appreciate that.
We feel the same way. All my buddies are like, when's Russ going to come back on? I'm like, you guys not watching us? And they're like, well, I mean, it's...
Well, what's funny is when you're not here, we're drinking bourbon. We're like, what do you think? Like, tastes good.
Little
Anybody catch any
stone
notes?
fruit,
Yeah.
little cracked vanilla.
And they were like 5-year-olds laughing like this.
And maybe you can-
Creme brulee?
You might see that and get some of that this afternoon. Of course. What did you have before this today? Did you have some pizza? What did you have before this?
We had a little gluten-free pizza, which was quite tasty.
Shout out to
No,
Stoic.
not really spicy.
No.
Okay.
We highlighted a gluten-free bar restaurant in downtown Bentonville, Stoic. Shout out.
Shout out to Stoic.
Fantastic.
Have to try it.
Fantastic.
Very good. In the
Yeah,
old
it
Peddler's
was all
Pub building.
really good.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's
They moved,
gluten-free.
right?
They moved
down
across
road?
the street.
Okay, that's right.
And so they're in the spot, and the food was great, and the beers were great. And if we weren't told beforehand, we never would have known.
No, never.
The
And that's
hazy.
a pleasant surprise, right?
That's a pleasant
Yeah.
surprise. Now, this is all gluten-free as well, right,
Of
Russ?
course.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, once you distill it out, it's substance. And today it's all about bottle and bond. We've talked about this for quite a while now. And just to showcase what bottle and bond is all about and where it's been, where it's going, and we're in such a sweet spot right now. There's more bottle and bonds on the shelf in Northwest Arkansas and throughout the country than ever before. And it's just showing we're kind of going back to our legacy of March of 1897 when the Bottle and Bond Act was created by the government.
No, I was not born then, Matthew.
He did look right
I got the
away.
look. I knew it right
Josh,
away.
do you remember that, Josh?
Is that your birthday?
Yeah, March of 1897. Yeah.
So, Russ, I'm still new on this thing, so I refresh it for me. Abbreviated version: bottle and bond versus high proof versus like what are the key differentiators?
So this is a key indicator. So here's an example. One of my, we've been to Four Roses. So when we were at Four Roses, we had their 100 proof Four Roses during the tasting, but that was not bottle and bond. But all these today are bottle and bond. So why wasn't that Four Roses? Or anytime you see 100 proof that does not have the designation bottle and bond on the label, what does that mean and how do they take care of the brand during this process? So in March of 18, so Colonel Taylor,
I'm so glad you're answering your own question because I was afraid you were going to pause.
he went to conference with the other distillers and the winter of 1897 to help Congress at the time help police their industry because there were distillers in Kentucky in that region of Appalachia that were blinding and killing their customers the way they were treating the alcohol after distillation. Some were keeping methyl alcohol in the distillate to stretch out supply so they could make more money. And they were masking it with tobacco and herbs and other things to get that methyl alcohol out. Well, you can't get that out. But what does methyl alcohol do to you over time?
Makes you go blind.
And kills you.
Oh, all right.
That's a bad marketing strategy, by the way. It is a bad marketing strategy. And so they went to Congress and they created the Bottle and Bond Act of 1897. Simply means at the time, because we're in scale now today, we're like, we're going to have old granddad from Jim Beam here in a minute where they're doing 1,000 barrels a day. Heaven Hill from Mello and JTS Brown, they're not just doing 1,000 barrels of those a day, but they're just the whole distillery. They're distilling about 1,000 barrels a day. Well, so they've worked up to scale over time. Well, back in 1897, they were doing 3 or 4 barrels a day, if even that. And so it was very easy for them to fill a couple barrels, and then a government agent, an excise man, would be at the distiller, and they would clarify these 2 or 3 barrels are going to go to a bonded warehouse in Louisville or a government warehouse, and they were going to sit under lock and key by the government for 4 years in a bonded warehouse. For one distilling season, meaning from January to June, one distilling season, or July to December, the other part of the year of the distilling season, again, aged a minimum of 4 years, proof down to 100 proof. So every barrel is different. So sometimes the proof will be 115 when it comes out of the barrel. Sometimes it's 105, whatever it might be. So there's that dilution formula that we've talked about to proof it down to 100 proof, and that goes to market. So that's the Bottle and Bond Act that was created for point of authenticity.
He's like the ChatGPT, Google, Wikipedia.
The Cliff Clavin, I was going to say.
But I do have a question, because like when we talk about certain whiskeys or bourbons, like there's a sweet spot in every rick house.
Yes.
So when you're in a bottled and bond, how do you, like, do they can pick spots in there, or is it just a crapshoot when it goes in there?
So here's an example. So let's do mellow corn. As we get into mellow corn, let's go ahead and start pouring that around. So it's a small brand from Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill has we've been there. That's a large campus, and they have well over 1.2 million barrels maturing on their campus that we saw, right? And so this is a very small brand, mellow corn, for their distillery.
Yeah.
And so they'll only have this in 1 or 2 of their warehouses at a time. But there are those sweet spots in the warehouses. Again, we're not going to put it in the 9th, 10th floor of the warehouse because that heat. We're going to do more of this maybe in the middle floors for minimum of 4 years. Again, so this is a minimum of 4 years. I can smell it from here. Mm-hmm. That corn sweetness. So this is a corn
smells different
whiskey. So a corn whiskey in America can use new oak and new and used oak. Mm-hmm. So we can use new oak and used oak for corn whiskey.
So it's not. Sorry to interrupt.
This is not a bourbon. It's a whiskey.
I thought
whiskey.
Only bourbon was bottled in bond.
No,
but whiskey can be bottled.
We can do it with rye. We can do it with wheat.
Okay.
Any distillate that has that cereal grain in it, So, but again, if it's say Rittenhouse from Heaven Hill, bottle and bond, that's a minimum of 51% rye. So it still has to be that 51% rye, 51% corn. This is 80% corn and above. So that's sweet, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get sweet butter popcorn on the nose here.
That's
yeah.
It's
I like it.
Hey, it's about $15 a bottle. It's a great value.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a professional, this is what you drink, my dear.
Well, it's just what you get at the package store.
So Josh,
at 8 in the morning.
Josh, I take it you didn't love that.
I'm going to do a 4 drop just to see.
I went 2. I probably need to do a bigger pointer.
But again, this is a corn whiskey that new oak and that used oak, but it's all these today are 100 proof.
100 proof.
And this was created.
It tastes like about $1.30.
This was created by Heaven Hill in 1945. So this brand's been around 80 years. This is an 80-year-old brand that just people walk away from. Now I can see on your faces why you would walk away from it, but just it has this customer base out there.
What's funny is our friend Matthew was just in Florida and sent us a picture of his lineup with his real friends in Florida. And then
What? Yeah. What? Yeah.
this is like a lineup that you would live here in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Let off by mellow corn.
This is.
It's
I have a question for you, Russ.
yes.
Ooh, bring us back.
So, you're obviously a professional taste tester. You've been a judge at whiskey competitions.
Yes.
How do you differentiate what I personally like versus objectively measuring the qualities of the whiskey so that you grade it appropriately? Because I would imagine that for me that would be impossible. If I like it, I'm going to grade it high. What do you have to do going into it?
He's got to be very is tunnel vision.
Okay.
And so when I'm tasting, like you've heard me say this before, guys, that when you taste spirits, beverage alcohol, you never taste with your heart. So right now you're saying taste with your heart, because you might not like it or you maybe had a bad experience with it.
Okay.
So how do I stay in that lane where I don't break out of it, where I'm not thinking about my heart on a brand? Because when you're a competition judge, you're blind tasting. We know the category might be high proof or high rye or a malt category, single malt category, or rye category.
Right.
We know the category that we're judging at the time, but we don't know the brands that we're judging. So It's all blinded. And so even though I might have an idea what one brand might be, I can't guide that with my heart. I have to guide it with my brain, my nose, and my palate. That's where I'm going here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. I guess my tough thing is, like, have you ever given a higher score
Okay.
to a whiskey, bourbon, rye that you did not like as much as you liked a lower score one?
Oh, yeah, that's happened before.
Okay.
Yeah, it has. I mean, that's just human nature, and that's your palate. Also, and then another thing, when you're judging, there's always at least two tables, or at least there's usually 30 judges, and we're all tasting, but we're not tasting everything. There's at least going to be two different tables are going to taste all these brands, so there's a good guidepost of a score.
Okay.
And you get palate fatigue, it is towards the end of the day. And so maybe it was something I scored last year and I gave a gold medal to Jim at 9 o'clock in the morning because of palate fatigue. I might have given that a bronze the next year.
So you could be like East German judge in the afternoon and give a lower score.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because it's palate fatigue.
I like it.
And so this is JTS Brown. This is the, JTS Brown and his stepbrother. They started, this is the precursor of Brown Forman of today. These guys started in 1855.
Okay.
So hey, another famous brand that started in 1855. My favorite bourbon from Heaven Hill is Henry McKenna, Bottle and Bond, single barrel. Started in 1855 also. So Brown Forman was incorporated in 1870. So this is about a $20 bottle. This in some states, it's not everywhere. I bought a case of this in Kentucky a couple years ago for $20 a bottle. Completely different than that mellow corn.
Yeah. Very different.
Because now we're in bourbon. We're in the highlights of bourbon now versus a corn whiskey, even though that's an 80% corn whiskey used a new oak on the mellow corn. There's a minimum of 51% corn. Heaven Hill likes to use a number 3 char, number 4 char on the barrel influence. And again, this is a minimum of 4 years. So all these this afternoon that we're trying were 4 years minimum, and that's part of the Bottle and Bond Act that I talked about earlier. But again, from one distilling season.
Did you guys like this one?
I like this one very much.
Yeah, I like this. But,
it would be my
I
preference.
think the mellow corn name's a little deceiving.
It's not mellow. If you call it mellow shit.
It was like
I don't know about that, but
potent gasoline instead of mellow
tasted
corn.
It
like.
wasn't mellow.
I think that's why Russ started us with that one.
Oh, yeah.
We're walking up that ladder progression.
Yeah. This would be good in an old fashioned.
I was just going to say very mixable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'd drink that.
Yeah.
I would too.
When I was a young sales rep in Austin back in the day, selling whiskey and wine, the big thing back then in the 80s was you wanted to get the well business because everyone was going to come in with ask a bourbon and wine. We weren't, people weren't asking for brand premium back in the 80s like they are today. So well whiskey was a big thing. And so we were paid nicely to make sure that we had all the wells in town because that's what you want. You want the guy and lady wanted bourbon and water, scotch and water, whatever it might be. And I had JTS Brown in every major well in Austin.
Well,
And I became a very big fan of it at the time. And then when I found several years ago that JTS Brown had their bottle and bond, but it was not available here in Arkansas, I had a friend send me a case from Kentucky. But again, it's probably cost as much to ship it than it did for me actually to buy the product.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this, with the water or without?
With.
I thought it was good both ways.
I did too. Well, I like that one very much.
I think it was, like you said, I think it's a great mixer. I would drink it regular. I don't think it's terrible.
No, it's
good. And for I think a lot of us
great.
get stuck on the price, and we've talked about this a lot.
I think that's
The price has nothing to do with really. It may sometimes, but it's not like if you spend $100, it's going to be better than this $20 one, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, we could put E.H. Taylor bottle and bond here, and we could put Henry Buchanan in here. Today was more about value.
Yep.
And just to showcase, some things that, when the consumer walks into a package store and maybe they're looking for this and they've never seen it, and they go, hey, maybe I'll take a chance on it. Again, we're not, the four of us are not tied to brands.
not at all.
I'm just tied to the experience that I'm going to give you guys, and the
Josh is kind of tied to Sazerac.
Oh yeah, we are.
Shout out to Lisa.
Again, we all are tied to BT in a big positive way for various reasons. We get this,
They've been very good to us.
Yes, and they will continue to be, because I think we're good for them too. So very much.
Yeah.
It's a great partnership that we have with them.
Very much so. All right, which one's next?
So we're going to do Old Granddad.
Because the next one's going to be my favorite, without a doubt.
Why do you say that?
Because Matt had to pay for it.
Oh, well, I like that.
Russ had to pay for these.
Well, Russ is... When you pay for something, it's a little different than Russ paying for it.
We gotta figure out how it opens.
So, we tried we were all big fans of the Old Granddad 16.
Yes.
And, until 6 months or a year ago, you couldn't find any Old Granddad on the shelf.
Back on the shelf.
And I'm excited to try that. I haven't ever tried just the OG.
Did you try the 16 Granddad? 16
one.
We bought some in Kentucky last year, but did any of these guys share any of it?
No, they don't share anything.
I thought we had it over.
Last time I hosted, I think we
I don't.
It was good.
It was Old Granddad 12 last time.
So Old Granddad, Mellow Corn and JTS Brown, part of Heaven Hill today. So Old Granddad, part of Jim Beam.
Okay.
Today's Suntory Global. And if you look at this fine gentleman on the label here, that is Basil Hayden.
Okay.
So Old Granddad is the name because the grandson named the brand in his granddad's honor, Old Granddad. And the brand was developed in 1840.
Solid.
That one's good.
So this brand's been around since 1840.
Price on the shelf, easily accessible.
Ballpark right around that $20 sweet spot.
$20 for
for $20 for that.
That's a great.
That I would drink all the time, straight.
Good.
That's really good.
Or on the rocks or whatever.
We'll have to put some in your locker.
Yeah.
You can put these in your locker.
Yeah.
They go with you guys.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm going to take the Old Granddad.
I'll feed Mellow Corn.
I get a lot of big leather and cedar on this.
Yeah.
I get
the first two. I did the first two. I didn't even rate them.
That's what I was going to say. Leather.
This really has a lot of backbone. It's got a nice skeletal structure to it. Does not taste like a minimum 4-year bourbon.
No, that one's tasty.
Did you try it with any water?
Incredible. Again, this is thing that we talk about all the time, whether it be just with the guys or on the podcast.
This is great.
You just don't know what you're missing if you just walk away from these brands that you've been told your whole life that they're, and because that's your heart telling you, because you've had your buddy say, oh, you don't like it, you're not going to like it. But until you try that at $20.
$20.
Yeah.
Again, another good Manhattan old fashioned, another good cocktail whiskey. Bourbon is this.
It's got a lot of good flavor on the back end.
It does.
Yeah, and the water really helps it.
I mean, I was going to say leather as well, but you took.
See, for me, I think it's better without the water.
On this one.
Mm-hmm.
But you liked it with the...
Without the water, I thought it was better.
Good. I'm with you on that. So you just added water to mine. I don't like it as much as I liked it straight.
So I was been out and about this week, the various package stores, and it's been down the street here. It's been over here at Anchor. I've seen it at Macadoodles. So it's out. It's out and about where, like you said a couple of years ago, it was not on the shelf at all. And I think what's really helped the brand is people are going, I'm going to revisit old Granddad now because they tried the 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. They had an opportunity to try that $200 bottle of Granddad 16, and then they go back, you know what, the brand's not bad, because again, people walk away from things that they'll know, or they've been told their whole life that it's, it's shot.
Bobby loved the old Granddad.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, and when you put it into perspective, just like you did, the 16 I thought was great, but it wasn't 20 times better than that. Like when you...
Because this is $20 and the other one was $200, right?
Well, and just to set the record straight, I didn't realize it was 200 when they definitely did not share it with me. No.
Matt shared that one with his friends.
Jim's a big Remus fan.
I love Remus. My favorite...
We should have brought some so he could have told you all about it.
Well, I've talked to him about this before, but I think the Remus Repeal Reserve 5 is my single favorite bourbon I've ever drank.
Yeah, I love it. He was a bootlegger.
I love it. It makes me feel like
that's probably why he likes it.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it makes me feel like a little bit of a
Remus. He was a bootlegger.
A little bit of a pirate. I am like Rob.
You are. Yeah.
Where'd you get your gold chain coin?
Where'd the chain go?
The chain was
look at
last
pictures
week.
of old Remus. You could be dressed like, if you put his top hat, his big old suit and tie, and big old sport coat on.
Yeah.
You exactly like him.
My Halloween is set up. I need you to send me a picture of old George Remus, and I'm in there.
It feels like that's your Halloween party this year at your house.
It'll be my Halloween costume for the rest of my life. Hosted at the Saffron House. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
Out.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone knows, but Josh got a new ice bath at his house.
Oh my God!
I mean, he's wanting to invite people over to switch out of it. It's just a single hole.
It's a single.
I want to get in it first if we're gonna do.
Did you not laugh when you saw that video? That's another day, another podcast.
Hey, but suffice to say that yes, Josh does have a place he can swim in his backyard now. So, and he let us all know about it.
I'm inviting. That's it. I'm inviting myself.
It was a flex for sure.
These guys have these massive, beautiful outdoor spaces, and I, of course, I have 6 kids. I can't afford any of this stuff. I got a little private one-person bathtub in my backyard. So I was saying, look, you guys want to come over and sit in an ice bath with me? That's it. I can't afford the booze.
To be clear, he showed us the ice bath. He never invited us over. Never. That is not true. He did not invite us over to swim in it. No.
No, also true. You don't swim in it. You just sit in it. You sit and shiver.
Regardless.
Well, let's get back to the ready. Because this is going to be my favorite without a doubt.
Oh, all right.
I've never had pepper, so Russ was telling us a little bit.
Now I've had the James pepper. I haven't had this pepper. This is the brother or the.
This is old.
Current day Woodford Reserve sits on the old Elijah Pepper Distillery in Versailles, Kentucky, and this is really close to it. And look at that color.
Looks like the mellow corn.
First of all, that looks like fresh cut tobacco on that color. That's
it's pretty dark.
Mahogany.
It's pretty dark
right there.
I'll agree with that.
Again, minimum of 4 years. That I don't see an age statement on here, but it certainly, to me, tastes. Do you remember the ballpark price on this, Matt?
No, I don't.
If it's for us, it's like $49.
I think it was like 60.
You were gonna like this. Have you had
get it here?
Yeah.
No, I knew because Russ brought the other ones. Matt brought this one.
So you said Matt brought the.
No, Matt brought this one.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
This really reminds me.
Licorice?
It reminds me of E.H. Taylor.
It does a little bit.
Got that black licorice. It's got a little bit of that creme brulee. It's got a little bit of that fresh cut vanilla bean.
I gotta be honest. It would mean a lot more to me if Matt would once disagree with you, Russ. Because he's saying, "Yeah,
you can't disagree.
You're kind of right.
Master.
You know what? But step out there. Be confident in your own.
Okay. Let me see.
Pumpkin spice.
Did you get any stone fruit in there?
No pumpkin spice because this is American oak. Now maybe a little bit of that spice in European oak. or
Maybe that's
Brazilian.
What I like about it is like the finish has that little. It has a little heat on the
It has
finish.
that Kentucky. It gives you that Kentucky kiss. It does.
That's a new Russ.
That's a new
A
one.
new Russism.
Kentucky.
You ever had a Kentucky Kiss?
I've
See if I can get one from Emily tonight.
I'm looking up Urban Dictionary right now. Hold on.
I'm gonna
I mean,
just.
it's 100. It's 95 degrees here today, and it is intense for the temperature outside. I really
is.
like this. I haven't had pepper in a long time, but it's really good.
So is it an old brand?
Yeah, it was an old brand. Yes, resurrected.
And
Again, what's great about this today, the bourbon boom has slowed down a little bit. There's more availability today than there was, during the pandemic. So to see pepper come back, and even to see Granddad doing what they're doing right now, and it's good to see that the bourbon consumer has been so frustrated for so long that they're finally starting to see some brands come back. Now, when I go back to Texas to do my events now, I'm starting to see Colonel Taylor bottle and bond on the shelf, and I go, this is on the shelf in Texas again, and just a limited allocation, one per customer. I was in Memphis a couple of weeks ago. They had at Buster's. That's if you go to Memphis, you got to go to Buster's.
Okay.
But they had Bland's on the shelf. They had Colonel Taylor on the
Reasonable
shelf.
prices?
Oh yeah,
Retail price.
They were all at suggested retail price.
Road trip.
Yeah. And I've got a friend that lives right down the street from there. In fact, I just told him my buddy I went to UT with, my goddaughter who lives in Mexico City. He lives a couple minutes down from that Buster's. So every time I go to Memphis, we go in there and
Treat yourselves like kings.
it's just you walk in, you go, right across the board in West Memphis, you're not going to find this stuff. But inside Memphis at Buster's, it was there. And so Colonel Taylor was where it should be. And so anyway, what my point is, finally, after all this time, now we're going to be able to find all of our favorites in the next couple of years. I think more and more coming out. But when you're starting to see some more Blands available, some more Colonel Taylor, some more Eagle Rare from BT on the shelf, that's really good news for the average consumer that's been in this space for so long. Because we've been in this space where, remember, it's the outliers from outside that space that thought bourbon was cool, and they came in and became the bourbon bullies and the bourbon hounds that were hoarding everything.
Somebody just said on Facebook that I don't know if it's true or not, that at Macadoodles and Jane, that they have a lot of the new Sazerac allocated stuff behind the counter, and if you spend $50 on other things, you can buy one of those.
Really?
Which, again, that's
Macadoodles and Jane?
yeah, yeah. So I was like, well, all right, well, one, it's out. I mean, should you have to spend $50 to get it? That's a whole other debate. But the fact that they have it accessible for people, and $50 you get a bottle of wine,
Buy a couple of bottle and bond.
2.5 bottles of
Pepper,
Mellow.
Couple Melicorn.
A couple of orange are there.
I'll buy some Delta 9.
Yeah.
and I'll buy some Delta 9 and then, get my allocated. On my road trip, I think.
So I've had the James pepper. Tell me what same, related, what's the deal?
Yes, it's related. But I haven't seen I can't believe you found this brand. I've been looking for it.
Where'd you find it, Matthew?
I don't remember. But I liked the name, and I'd seen the pepper. But a lot of times, if it's brands that I don't really know that much about, it helps me buy it if it says bottled in bond, because again, I know that it's at least 4 years old and it's not.
It's a brand of authenticity.
Yeah.
It has that
Like I think the bottled in bond kind of makes it more solid.
It's got the Russ stamp of approval.
Yeah.
You're also a big fan of salt and pepper, so you thought that this would be
Oh,
good.
I actually did like salt and pepper.
So Elijah Pepper
Not to be
Distillery
confused with salt and pepper.
that's where Woodford is today.
Okay.
And Versailles. In fact, we do need to talk about a road trip.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
It's coming up
We're
on.
gonna.
Bobby's out. We're in.
It's too late for this year.
Bobby's
Bobby's out. We're in.
It's too late for this year because my fall is covered up.
Yeah.
But let's have another trip in the spring.
Or listen.
You guys can go without me.
No, we've been thinking that.
We'd never. Who'd mule everything back?
Yeah.
That's
Who would be the guest?
I mean, the longer we wait, the more they'll have.
I'm going up for the Texas Kentucky game.
If Josh
I'm
treats
taking a group on the Bourbon Trail the Friday before the Texas Kentucky game.
if Josh treats to the trip, I'd count as a hosting.
Yeah.
Out.
So we're all having now, Jim. I know you haven't had this. We got this at the distillery in September.
Well, then you are right.
So this was distillery release only. This is their first Angels Envy. This is their first release that is not a wood finish.
Not a wood finish.
So Angels Envy port wood finish.
Yeah.
After a straight bourbon whiskey, minimum of 4 years in, they finish it in port wood barrels from Portugal.
Okay.
Their Angels Envy Caribbean cask rye is finished in aged rum barrels in the Caribbean.
Okay.
That happened to be Angels Envy rye. They shipped them to Bacardi because Bacardi owns Angels Envy, so it's Bacardi aged rum.
Bacardi.
And
He's got that.
That's you got to do it, man. You know when you're down there.
So how do they know? So question.
Okay.
It says it's cask strength, but how do you know that it's exactly 100 proof when they take it out of the?
There's
because there's a cask
temperature. There's a mechanism is a thermometer.
Okay.
That tells you the proof.
Because I thought it would come out at a random amount and then they add water to.
Well,
make
what
it
they'll
100.
do if I'm dumping 10 barrels or 20 barrels or 30 barrels.
Some will be 120 and some will be 90.
And then we're proofing from that formula.
Okay.
So there's that mathematical formula. It's an algebra equation.
Okay.
That makes it's good. Everyone's going to go to sleep on.
Okay. And that is where, depending on where it's in the rick house, it could be 90 or it could be 120.
Well, you could have six, like when we're at Beam, right?
Yeah.
In September, you could have those bean barrels right next to each other, and they could be a little bit different because maybe the warehouseman put a couple of those barrels that we're goofing around with 2 weeks ago, but some next to it were in there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they're completely different from that proof point.
Okay.
Because again, the proof entry point is a minimum of 125 proof after it's been distilled to 160 proof.
Remind me, this one was expensive, and it's only in a 375.
So
right?
this, I just looked at it a minute ago when
This was like $50
This was 58
for 375.
for 375. Yeah.
This. I remember loving it. I think I have a. Do you buy a bottle of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we all got some.
Yeah.
You didn't get one for me.
Well, that's for
Matthew's
you.
got yours.
Whatever. That's for you to take home.
That's part of your payment for today.
Fantastic. That's delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
When you get that out of Russ, that's
I'm very bullish on Angels Envy, on everything they've done. I was just so happy that they decided to come out with a bottle and bond that's just 100% American oak without any wood finishes.
But Russ, why would they only do it in this size, and why would this be distillery only? Because thank you. That's why I asked you.
Listen,
because this is the same premise of duty free. So distilleries, around the world, they will have limited releases at the distillery or limited expressions at duty free to kind of a guiding from a sales or marketing standpoint to say, if these brands can sell at duty free, maybe we have a new expression that we can have a line extension for in the marketplace. Same thing with the visitor center. That's why they did a half bottle of visitor center at 58, because think about that. You're still a young distillery, Angels Envy, relatively speaking, and you don't want that consumer walking out a sticker shot about $116 to $120 on a brand that they maybe have not been a new expression they hadn't tried before. So 58 is a perceived good value to 375, and then over time this should be a line extension on the shelf, because remember when we were there in September, they had their other line extension that they
Triple Oak?
Yeah,
Triple Oak.
that was incredible. So I've had that, and it is wonderful.
It's exceptional.
One of my favorites.
It is, and so this is kind of guided by sales and marketing and availability too. And I really enjoyed this one. Again, this is my first experience. I held this back since September.
Did we try this at
We did. We tried it in the tasting.
Yeah.
When those guys in the corner were trying to hire me, those guys went
Bachelor party guys.
Yeah.
I think Angels Envy should hire you after they got the.
This is
That's good. That means
slightly better than the mellow corn.
the mellow corn is
I guess
has something to offer.
I really get those big wood sugars.
Let me guess. So do you?
Got a lot of
right?
tannin.
You
I got a lot of those wood
so-
tannins, but
yeah.
the water really suppressed those wood tannins. Just those couple drops of
The
water.
water made it worse for me.
Water usually does that with you.
I don't know why it is.
Tannins?
Me too.
Water?
On that. I don't usually like it.
Did the water suppress your tannin?
I don't even know what a tannin is. So.
It certainly changed.
Yes.
Yeah. All good. They were all good, except for the first two. The first one, really.
The first one was very different. I thought the rest were good.
I'm not terribly picky. I would drink any one of them.
Yeah.
But that's why we started with mellow.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we didn't end with mellow. We started there.
But what's interesting, going back to your earlier point, none of these are allocated. I mean, the Angel's Envy is a separate thing you'll get at the distillery. The Old Pepper on the shelf, where was it sitting? Do you remember?
I'm going to say around 75.
But I don't know if it's not one of those that's, because people walk past the shelf immediately, right? You walk right past the aisle and you're looking for what's on the allocated shelf.
What's special?
Correct. Nobody's looking at these things. And this is why I like doing these tastings, because like I wouldn't have bought this because it wasn't cool. But like, you know what? I would drink the Old Pepper. I would drink the J.S. Brown. I would drink these, some straight, some in a mixed drink, but I don't normally think to buy these. Right? I mean,
yeah, I think that mellow corn would look good in Jent's place.
that's in the anti-VIP room.
I think you need to present that to Bar Nelson.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
That's
that thing will be gone within a week. You take it in there.
You tell Bobby this is the new
I'll be like,
one of one limited edition that like you can't find it anywhere.
Russ wanted to take it back with him, but we snuck it under the table.
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
It fits his descriptive perfectly.
It does.
Mellow.
It does.
Mellow Rob. Mellow corn.
I like that. Russ, thank you for coming in. Always a pleasure. We need
Always great to be here, guys.
we need to have you in more often because when Matt and Bobby and now Jim and I talk about bourbon, it's not the same because we
don't know what we're talking about.
Well, I'm here. I'm going to Minnesota next week to see the youngest daughter, and then I'm here quite a bit late month. I know you're busy late month, but early August. Let's do a couple podcasts in early August.
We could always do one without Josh. We have to.
Well, we could have Matt bring in the lineup that he had for his buddies in Florida.
Oh, that'd be a good lineup.
That was a
lineup pretty good.
I
don't even know what it was. What was it?
I got ghosted on that text.
It was E.H. Taylor. It was Elmer T. Lee, I think.
I think so. It was pretty good.
It was stuff I've never
lineup.
seen from Matt here in Northwest Arkansas.
The thing that's impressive to me about Russ is that, obviously he knows more about bourbon than
Three of us combined.
He's forgotten more about bourbon than the three of us know.
100%.
But he's done tequila tastings for us. He's done, he knows so much about so much. Wines, obviously, as well. For people who you have a website, right?
Yeah, here's the company name, Speaking of Grapes and Grays, and the website is speakingofgrapesandgrays.com. And you can see my bio, all my relative information, my experience, and all the events that I do. And I think I do about 16 different journeys. Everything I do is called a journey. So a journey through America for bourbon, rye, journey through Scotland, a journey through Ireland. Everything I do is a journey. And it's also comes with that journey that you saw on the tequila event that I did at your house in December. It's all about that new discovery. Like today was new.
We went on a journey. That's for sure.
It was quite a journey.
What was that?
Shout out to the Irish goodbyes.
I left before the real party.
Shout out to Corey. Are you there?
She passed down the corner.
It's just like, and I talk about this all the time too. We tried these really 5 nice brands this afternoon. Now all 5 weren't for all of us. Some like some didn't like the other. But again, it's one of these brands. You find one of these, you walk by the package store, you walk by these 5 or 10, 15 times in your life, maybe saw on a cocktail list, your favorite joint, and then you finally had it today. You say, you know what, I really liked that, but what took me so long?
Yeah.
That's the thing. What took you so long? Because we're jaded, because social media jades us. Everyday buddies jade us.
We're just
No.
And that's what's fun to go into. Again, I was at Macadoodles this week, and I was at Angkor and just picked some stuff up, and I see these guys in the aisle still today, July of 2025. This isn't the pandemic anymore. People are walking in, they can't find and they kind of throw a little fit. that they can't find, but they won't spend a dime in that store. They do go in the bourbon section. They can't find what they do. They leave. They don't spend a dime. They don't say hi to the manager. They don't ask them a question. Well, that manager's not going to give them any allocated price if they're not spending a dime. We all know that. This is all about relationships.
It's about relationships. You're 100% right, Russ.
And Russ is super busy. He's doing for me at the end of the month. He's doing a Japanese versus American whiskey tasting.
Ooh. It's going to be fun.
Invites didn't come yet. I mean, we'll still work it through.
I was gonna say I haven't heard about that one.
I look forward to attending if Rob can make it.
Is this gonna be at your house?
No.
No, of course it's not. I knew that.
I'm actually going to host it at Jim's house.
So you have the
far more
menu
plausible.
yet?
Yeah, we're all set.
Good. All right.
Thank you, Russ. Always a pleasure.
Hey, Jim, good seeing you. Josh
seeing
and
you.
Matt, it's always a pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
I can't wait.
Russ, amazing.